I'm watching the birds. We have all these goldfinches have come now as well as the chickadees. That's a goldfinch there. Anyway, hello, hello. We were having this great conversation, and then something happened in the world. I had finally gotten it in peace. Anyway, so whatever, it is what it is. So I went for a walk, and I took the Zoomy camera, and I have 2 videos I made out there. They'll probably take a week to upload, but you never know. They might upload right away. And, oh, when I was up there, I went up on the hill, the way and beyond. It's nice when you get held perfectly, but silent mode is on. There, okay. So, oh wait, you're just looking at me. Okay, so I went out there, I went down the steps to the pottery studio and looked down Dead Man's Run, and then we went up to the hill, and then we walked in to Deer Meadow. And then we went up the hill, we followed the tracks, so we went up the hill and out the front gate up that area there. And then there's a really brushy place right there with brown. And then that's the brushy place. So you have to go around this big rock. So we went on the other side of the rock, and then out the gate, or the opening, and then down on the other side. And the deer track was all back in here. And then it came down along the fence, and then at the bottom of the hill, or at the end of the end of the trench, it went over the bridge. It went over the fence. So I did that. And I followed the tracks, and most of them go, where did they go? I think I was looking, they go up that hill. They go up there. But there's also a certain number that go down through the valley. A lot of them go right down through the valley and up on the side of that hill or behind the house. So they come right, or they come up, from the corner of this deck to the trail that they're already taking is like, 50 feet? And they could be on top of the yard anyway if they've checked out the garden beds first. Anyway, so I decided that the best place to feed the deer would be right on that very corner right there. And then, you know what, if I come out here early in the morning and sit, I might see them. I might get to see them right here from the deck. Wouldn't that be cool? I won't see them in the bedroom when I'm in bed, but there's a dawn to dusk light or not dawn to dusk, but a motion sensor light up here. There's also one right out there. There's one on this corner, and there's one on that corner. And then there's one on the other side. So it's here, and all 3 sides have those things. Anyway, so sorry to make you look so fast. Anyway, hello, one person who's here. So there's where it's going to go, that corner. And I already put some out there, of course. So now the challenge is just to sit here and be here at the right time. Scarlett's come about this close to her house, too. And this is such a nice spot, because this is where I sit. Isn't that nice? So you could see out that side. And you could see out this side and see all that. Or you could look this way and see out that side. It's just like a Minecraft house. I wanted to live in a fishbowl. I thought that would be awesome to have all windows. I thought that my whole life. Hi, Ellen. Nice to see you again. What have you been up to today? Has it been a good day? Oh, there's a lot of the world that's getting bad weather. I forget where you're from. Arkansas? Mississippi? Not Alabama. I get too many things in my head and I can't remember anything. You know what's funny? My Google Dot is playing music, and I saw that my laptop was on, and there were several videos of mine that were there. I don't think they were one of my, oh yeah, it's changed into another video. So but I thought the sound was off. But I was thinking maybe the Dot heard something from the video and turned itself on. Sometimes I say things like, Okay, Google, play some lovely music. And then everybody in the world's Google plays lovely music or tells you that you haven't got Spotify Premium so you can't have any. Or tries to give you an ad about Colombia and how wonderful Colombia is. When I grew up, Colombia was a very scary place. So how's life out there between me and you in this group?
Try again in a few seconds.
See, I have to be so careful. Not a slip of the tongue. Even when you say okay, sometimes you say, okay, and she'll answer. Look at all those little chickadees. If I were out there with my hand, they would be on my hand. Oh, there they go. I always say I'm in a snow globe when it's snowing. Oh, you're in Wisconsin. Okay. You're one of the 3 from Wisconsin. You, Regina, and Susan, right? Or is there more? Google Play is in there just playing something pretty. Oh, neat. At here or at your place? Oh, yeah, mine's dripping too. I like that music. That's very pretty. Okay, Google, turn it up. Maybe you don't need it up. Well, I had a very difficult time today doing so many things and my camera would not charge.
There's a glitch. Try again in a few seconds.
Look, he's having a little suet up there. They come and they go. You know, I have all kinds of stuff here to do. I have my patch for my skirt. Isn't this a good idea? So I'm going to patch it. So I'm going to patch it on the outside, make it look very pretty. Place I belong, West Virginia, mama, home, country road, memories gather round her, foolish lady, stranger to blue water. Dark and dusty, bathed sunshine, country road, take me home. Which is the right side? Place I belong, West Virginia. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to treat it. I'll make a pocket. Why would I even think of a patch? I would make a pocket, of course. Okay, so I have to sew this end down first. Have to put that down for the pocket. Okay, and then we'll put it inside out. Oh, feeling that I should have been home yesterday. Yesterday, country road, take me home to the place I belong, West Virginia. Mama, take me home, country road. What'd you say? Hi, Ella. Oh, hi, Regina. I didn't I? It's still cold there. Yes, I went for a lovely walk. It was quite cold here. My cheeks, oh, but I planned my, it's gonna be a zip line. I think a zip line is probably the best. It's really not very far. 50-foot zip line is nothing. And I think if you use extra wire, it's aircraft cable. Anyway, if you use extra cable, and so you think that they should be about level. You don't want to go downhill because you don't want to smash into the tree. So if you have it about level, it's going to have, it's really hard to have a straight line. I've got a lot of tension on that wire so it's straight because I wanted it straight. It used to sag a lot and you'd get stuck in the middle. So the hyperbolic cosine is the amount of whatever. And so so if it's got too great a loop, you're going to get stuck in the middle. If it's too tight, you aren't going to move, or you're going to smash into this tree or that tree. But if you have just the right amount of, you pull it till it's kind of tight, just tight to the pull, it'll always have a hyperbolic cosine, a certain amount of slope, a certain amount of curve. And so if I make it so that this side could actually be higher than that side, if I have enough, so it's still got to come uphill at the end, but not too much. Uh-oh, stop. I'm tired of canceling them, and this better not turn off again. I'm going to have a say about that. No say about it at all. It's plugged in. Oh, this is almost like somebody's here, like we're having a visit. So I'm going to make my pocket. This is so cool. It's what my mother would do. She would sit around and mend. I guess when you mend, it gives you that feeling of being at home. It's different than when you're, I guess it's like knitting. But when you sit down, you can't just sit, so you get a cup of tea. Then it's okay, then you can just sit. But if you don't get a cup of tea, then what do you do when you're sitting? You watch television. Or you read a book. Mostly you watch television and change the channels, or you eat. Who is that? Is that Creedence Clearwater Revival? Oh, what a good idea. Watch Nancy today. Yeah. I should do that. I couldn't do it. It's too embarrassing. But it's like having a guest in the house. When you sit down and you, like with you guys, I really love it when you're here. I had a good time outside, but I would have liked to take you. But I found out where to feed the deer. I didn't want to feed them out there anymore because it was too far from the house. The deck was so wide then, and they had the stairs, and they won't step on anything that's not natural. So you won't get them on the stairs to come up. They don't go across the bridge either, I don't think. Well, the raccoons and things will. But not the deer. So I know, so that's where they're coming. They're coming right down there and then in through here, and they can come up here. They'll love that. They're walking right by. I'll feed them here, and then I'll come out and sit in the mornings with you, have our tea, and I can keep my eye on them. And they might be coming over, or they might, before I'm making a lot of noise. I've gotten up quite a few times and looked out the window, and there in the middle of the field out there is a deer, usually going across. Sometimes they're running that way back. Sometimes they're wandering through those hills. I should well, I've got this little forested area right here, and I've seen their tracks are in there. Is that their tracks, or is that cat tracks that just have melted big? If they really have tracks coming right there, Oh, that's my favorite place. Oh, let me go back. Let me come up here, bring you closer and read these things. I don't darn. Oh, wait a minute. Before Regina. Oops, stop. I know, Diane. I hope we stay on together. Okay, so let me go back. So you've had a mild winter in Wisconsin. I know, it's here too. You watched Nancy today. That's cool. Yeah. CCR. Howdy. Oh, hi. Oh, is that right? Clarence Clear. Was that who it was that's singing that? I don't think that's who's doing this one, do you? Why is it saying it has a low battery? Oh my gosh. What's with all this stuff? I guess you can't complain. I mean, we're really blessed that it works when it does. I mean, it does work a lot. Almost all the time. I promise I will be in Canada visiting Nancy. Okay, let me get back up here. Really? You get sad when you don't see me for 24 hours? Wow. That's really interesting, Regina and Rose. That's amazing. You feed the deer in your backyard, Diane. That's cool. Wow, you get sad when you don't see me. Isn't that interesting? I wonder how many people out there feel that way. Like, I would like to have somebody that I keep changing these cords. I keep changing them. There was a pink one, and then there was another pink one, and then this is the second white one. No, I think it's the fifth white one. I went through all those cords that I had. That's interesting that you need a Nancy fix every day. And then there's all these times that I haven't made videos. You know, I feel like, wow, I need to do this. I mean, this is serving a purpose out there. That's amazing. Well, it's kind of sad that you don't have other friends other than us, but that's all right because we're your friends. Oh, look at all these birds. What's in here? They have attitudes, don't they? There's some that are the alphas. Like, did you see that interaction? Did you just see him, like, how dare you? That's the best place I've ever put it. It's been there for days, and look at how many are eating it. The squirrels can't get it. That's the best squirrel feeder in the whole wide world. Squirrel poo feeder. Should buy them up and market them. Squirrel proof feeder. With the directions: lay mat on flat surface. Pour seeds over. Smooth into the cracks. $19.95. $75. Look at all those beautiful birds. Oh, well, I could just watch them for a long time. Anyway, with my mother, she would always sew. So now we're going to sew, hand sew. We're going to go right down here, and we're going to put a knot at either end, and then we're going to start here, put a knot there, we're going to go right down there, and then we're going to come across the top here, and we're going to just put that little hem there. It is, isn't it? So I think it's probably best to turn it down twice, because if you get your hand under there when you're pulling your crap out of your pocket. Did I say that? I did not. I could put the hem on the outside. Wouldn't that be pretty? How does that look for an edge of a pocket? Yeah, my husband's pockets have a hem on the edge. Oh, this is really getting fancy. Okay then, let's get to it. I have a sewing bee. It is like we've always been friends. Isn't it wonderful we have each other? We've been together a long time. Of course, I treated you like you'd been with me when I first met you. I never met you. I didn't. That was just my camera. It's like, oh, hi, Nancy. I see you. Let's talk to each other. This is a wonderful reality that we have, isn't it? You know, my children are grown up. I mean, the years went on when you had to be here. You had to be here and just be there. And so, of course, I got busy. I did millions of things. Still doing millions of things. It's fun. I like being me. I really like me. I think I'm great. I respect it myself. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I do things that I shouldn't do. But for the most part, I'm pretty good. I was going to, I just went for my walk, but I was going to walk down to the stream, and then from the stream, I was going to go walk down, go around the moat. I was going to go down the road and in, and then go around the moat, and then you only go part way around, and then past the gypsy cottage, and then cut through the alders to the stream, and then walk along the stream until you're across from the mushroom hut and past that. That's where I saw the... Yeah, I must have... Which bridge did I cross? Oh, I didn't cross a bridge. Oh, I remember. I just walked down the road and then I walked in at the lower entrance and I walked along the other side of the stream. And when I got to a nice chair, I sat. And then I videoed this. I was just sitting, watching, listening. Can't hear it very well anymore. But my tinnitus is not very loud today. If I have dairy or wheat or something. Anyway. And so I was sitting there in this red chair, which I picked up out of the ice. It was kind of not in the stream, but the ground has ice on it. So I pulled it up. The snow has a layer of ice under it. The snow's about this thick, and then the ice is below that. So everything gets stuck to the ground. But that's okay because it's winter. It's winter. I love winter. Oh, winter is the best. Oh, the snow is so beautiful. It's white everywhere. It's like a postcard. Everywhere is a postcard. And then there's tracks in the snow and you can follow them. And the air is fresh and healthy and clean and clear and fresh and bites your nose and bites your cheeks. And or it doesn't get that cold now. That's today. It was kind of like that. Or the sun is warm on you and you go the other direction and you freeze and you just have to turn your face around and face the sun. And then you're okay. And you face your hand, you put your hands in front of you where the wind isn't going to get them. And you can't put them out like that or they'll freeze. But you put them against this and then the sun will warm that side up. Then you turn them over. Somehow. The underside isn't usually as well. If you can do this, boy, that gets warm, doesn't it? I should be doing things like having campfires down there and making cattail dolls. I've got all those cattails. I was going to work on the inside of that teepee and make a blanket down there that goes this way, and there's one against the wall. I could use sheets. I've got all these sheets to give all the kids for Christmas, and it's already the end of January, middle of January. I haven't seen anybody. There's been COVID everywhere. Anyway. So I could put a sheet against the wall and then another sheet out a couple feet. It'll be higher, right, because it's at a slope. You know what I could do on Minecraft? I could make a teepee out of bales of hay. I could make a baled hay teepee on Minecraft. But I'm not going to do it right now. Just right now, I'm mending. First, we have to get a needle. Didn't we just have a needle? Oh, did we thread it? Ha ha, all the hard work is done. Look at that. What are you working on over there? My mother would sit in her chair in front of that Duncan 5 table. It would be by her feet. And she would mend. This is exactly what she would look like. She would mend everything. Well, she wouldn't look like that. Boy, my fingers aren't working. I've never had to do a hand knot. I mean, it's always just slide it down. Luckily, I remember how to do this. Oh dear, I'm doing it wrong. I don't want it to be too thick. This thread is very thick. I'll just make it one thing. Oh, it's not a good thing that I didn't do it together. Let's do it this way again. Gina, I remember from our discussion yesterday, I'm glad we all talked. We were able to comfort each other's loss. Here, we might go back up. I'm sorry, I'm having this wonderful conversation with you and I'm just not listening to a thing you're saying. It's very rude. Okay. Then you have to talk to each other. Imagine that. Okay, then let's go down, low battery. Ah, that's where we were. Can be a bad cord. Yes, you make us happy, Nancy. Bless your hearts. I need a Nancy fix every day too. I have no other phones but y'all. I honestly do feel sad. I guess you would be amazed at how you have touched our lives. Yeah, really. I need a body cam. Of course. Oh, yes. Oh, how perfect. Oh, why didn't I think of that? Look at that. How could I have missed that? I'm so glad to have you guys. You're great. I need a body cam. Yeah, I was thinking, oh, look, not only have I threaded the needle today, I have threaded another needle another day. There are 2 needles that are threaded there. All right. Sorry, I was talking to you. Let me get back to where we were. Nancy, you can say crap about me anytime. I say worse occasionally. I have been known to say a little bit worse. But you know, I was really pleased when I was making it. Look, this one doesn't have a knot in it. I guess I have the other one. You know, it's like Alzheimer's isn't bad. It's like you're making new friends every day. Hello, what's your name? Look at this. I have 2 of these. That's why I said that. Okay, and I don't have Alzheimer's. Okay, so we're going to sew a pocket. I may have to focus on this, you know. Not that I can really focus. Don't, it's okay, they're sterile. I brushed them today. Boy, that chickadee is so puffed out. It looks like a ball. There. Perfect. Okay. Away we go. We'll just sew all the way across here. I remember when I was on the top of a mountain in Jamaica, and I just sat on the top of the mountain and I sewed a skirt by hand. I sewed a top by hand. It was really pretty. It was really nice. I must have cut out the pieces before and just taken the pieces with me to Jamaica. And no, I bought it there. I bought the fabric there. I must have bought the pattern there, and I must have cut it out. Probably at our grass hut before we went. We lived in the most awesome grass hut. Oh, it was really a nice place. It was little. The whole thing you could fit into this room. I didn't have anything. He had a calabash thing that was shaped like that, and it was a spoon. No, it wasn't a calabash. It was from coconut shell. And it was shaped like that, and it was a spoon. And then, oh my goodness, are we going to talk about Jamaica? Wow, what a cool subject. I should start a new video. It's 29 minutes. Should I do that, or should we just stay where we are? So much trouble. Just come back and you 9 folks. Thanks for being with me. Anyway, so Jamaica, all we had was a knife which stuck into the bamboo wall. The bamboo was woven You know, they had sticks. I watched these guys do it. They put these sticks in the ground. They put these sticks in the ground, and then they took pieces of bamboo. Like the bamboo was really big. It was like that big, right? And I did that so you would see that it wasn't. I couldn't tell how to tell you how big it was. Anyway, look at this nice stitching. Isn't that pretty? We used to have a fiber arts group nearby up at Mira, and we would they were quilters that would go and they would quilt there. Okay, so anyway, so he had a knife, which was he would use it for all of the vegetables, and I guess there was a spoon. Oh, you don't have pneumonia. Right, that's right. You told us that yesterday. Okay, let me go back up here and empty nesters have a unique situation we share. That's true, isn't it? Yeah. I love how Nancy opens her world to us. She has a huge heart. Ah. Plus, she lives for Jesus. I do. She treats us all the same. She has a beautiful smile. It could light up any dark room. You guys are so sweet. At our ages, we often have a lot of losses and life changes that make it challenging sometimes. Yeah, really. Like I keep on my my Facebook high school page, people keep dying, right? And they're my age. Just like, wait a minute. And I think, did they know they were going to die? Right? Or was it a surprise to them as much as it is to me to hear that they, my classmates, that they died? That's young, isn't it? Like, I expect I'm going to be here till I'm 85. But what if I'm not? Anything can happen. I could get in a car crash. Millions of things could happen. But I expect that I'm going to live till 85. Maybe, who knows? I didn't think I'd get past 40. But look at where I am. I'm at 66. When we look ahead into the future, maybe I just can't see numbers beyond in the 80s. What if I live till 90? I could. Oops. I could, couldn't I? I could live till I'm 90. I could live later. I could live till I'm 100. Ugh. But I could. I really could. I don't want to be drooling in an old folks home thinking, I gave up ice cream for this. So if you're going to live a long time, you have to be healthy the whole time. You don't want to just live a long time and be in really bad shape. We still have a 29-year-old son living at home, but he is a big helper when I need him. My 2 daughters are married and I have their families now. Yeah, that's the thing, eh? Where our families are. It makes a lot of difference. Like my son with his wife and my grandson, we went out to Vancouver together, and that's really cool. And now Scarlett has moved back from Germany. She was gone for 12 years. And she's living back here over, not as close as she was, but she's over there a bit, half an hour or something. And so I can stop in and see her if I want. She told it online, so I guess I can tell you. So Bo left, and so she was alone, and they had the house that they had started to build, and it was, I don't think the roof was on. And so, but he stayed and helped put the roof on, and then he would come back and do more things. And so that was the end of her marriage. And so I think they're still friends. He's still coming and doing the odd thing to help out at finishing the house. But so she went on a dating site and she found this wonderful guy. He's so nice. He's from Germany, and he had a Canadian wife and she had a German husband. So she's Canadian with a German husband. He's German with a Canadian wife. And they've been broken up, and so he's got 3 teenage daughters, and Scarlett didn't have any. But so they're together, and he and she are living on the it's in the wilderness. I mean, she came around the door. She was sitting on her deck. No, she was sitting in the doorway with her feet on the steps. It was all brand new, I mean, it wasn't finished, but it was all brand newly done. And right at the corner of the house, this huge bear comes around the corner, and she just fell backwards, scrounged, and wiggling herself quickly backwards, and then slamming the door. There are so many birds here now. And there's a downy woodpecker. He's on the feeder. Such a beautiful day. So I've got Scarlett and her family, Scarlett and Mark, over there. And then Daniel lives in Vietnam, and he was all by himself and going to the bars and all that terrible life. And now he's got a steady girlfriend. They moved in together in the middle of the pandemic. Actually, they moved in like a week before Vietnam shut down, and everybody was locked in for months. So they're still together, and they're free now, and they've gone kayaking and bicycle riding, and he's having a great life. He's also got a job. He was not working. He had his money he had saved up here and took over there and lived on it for 4 years or something. He only worked for a year or something, not even, maybe 6 months. Anyway, so he's over there. Yeah, I'm not upset with this new arrangement. I like Mark, much better. He's a good, really nice person. Okay. I'm going back. I didn't read about all these things. Well, yeah, I guess I did read a lot. But some things I think you guys have said, and the video cuts off, and I haven't gone back and read everything yet. I'll have to watch them to see the comments, because they don't show you otherwise. I don't think, do they? So Rose is just you and your husband, and you're on a hill in the woods in Wisconsin, and you have a bear sometimes, and you have deer, and you feed the deer. If I got it right? Oh, and you lost your dog. You lost your dog, and you're still sad from it. Right? Okay, let me go back up again. How far do you have to go back up? Okay, we have a lot of losses. There's still 29 son. Still lost 3 people since Christmas. That's right, you were saying that, Regina. 3 people you've lost since Christmas. They are in a better place. Rose is with her husband, and I'm just with Willem. Sometimes I get lucky enough to have the grandchildren, but when they leave, I'm so exhausted. Where have I heard that before? All right. All right, so you feed the deer. Diane, you feed the deer in your backyard. Now, Diane, where were you? Oh, you're in the UK, right? Rose is not allowed to feed the deer. Oh, because it's the law, right? Regina is going to be here. Battery, bad cord. You make us happy. I need Nancy fix. No other friends. I'm in the woods. No people. Miles and miles. Yeah, I need a body cam. That's something. No, miles and miles, eh? That's a lot. That's far. I hope you get along well with your husband. I was on a farm once, and it wasn't a very happy home. Right, we see you, Regina. Yeah, isn't it amazing? Like, I can be here snowed in, but I'm busy with you guys. I'm not snowed in, but we will be on Monday because we don't have a snowblower, and it's only going to be 5 inches. 20 centimeters? Wait a minute, 20 is going to be 10 inches. But there are a lot of 2%, so it'll be 8 inches. Still. So you go on Facebook to see your friends from childhood, and we visit, but not live like this. Thanks for saying I inspire you. It is like we've known each other our whole lives. I went to visit somebody once, and when I got there, the whole family was outside, and she was running to me, "It's my Nancy, it's my Nancy." I mean, how that made me feel. That was Joyce. She lived right behind where my, oops, I messed it up there. She lived right behind where I went to camp. I was going to tell you about Jamaica, but I want to read what you guys said. That's Rose saying, I can see empty nesters have unique, artists have a lot of losses. 29-year-old son. Says Christmas lost 3. It's just you and your husband. Gina, I remember from our discussion yesterday. I'm glad we all talked and we are able to comfort each other. Plus, I learned of your challenges from your videos today. Gina, now who are you? Have we met? Or have I just forgotten? You have all of us, Rose. I would love to drive up by you when it's warmer and have a girls' day. Yes, you 3 could really have fun. Oh, I could meet you somewhere, Gina. So, Gina, are you in... My hubby's not much on visitors. Ah. Yeah, way out there in the middle of nowhere with nobody anywhere, and he doesn't like visitors. I will figure it out, Rose. It sounds like these old stories at church about in the pioneer days and how they would take the wagon and the horses, hitch up the horses and go way, way down in the snowy woods to this person who lived far away and bring them supplies or something, or how they'd have to go out for supplies. Anyway, made me laugh. Good, Gina. I think my old Ford Explorer, Dora, will putter over your way. Would be very nice. I love road tripping. Even if it's just for a little while. Like I should go visit Mary Jane. My videos was a dark time in life from having breast cancer. That was... Oh, so you have a channel. Oh, wow. I missed my Ford Explorer I bought. Is it called Regina Niebler? I am glad you are doing better, Gina. I cried. No, wait a minute. Gina. Oh, Regina. Oh, I got it. Duh. Gina. Okay, I'm glad you're doing better, Gina. I cried. Did you go to the doctor today? Okay, wow, Nancy, tell us more. Yes, I will. Yesterday, I don't have pneumonia, but they did a CT order because they've seen a spot on your lower left lung. Gina, you are on your way to finding answers, hopefully. Plus, Nancy wears sparkles. Oops. Ah, not a low batteries thing again. We better fix this. I've turned it over already, and it's still not charging it right. Let me just hold on. I'm going to see what the percent battery. Oh, you have a dog about Napoleon. Oh, okay. Oh, Ellen, are you losing weight? I thought you messed up. To lose him. Oh, one died in her sleep. Well, I'd rather go like that than kicking and screaming like my grandfather's passengers. Sorry, just had to throw that in there. Was it my grandfather? Wasn't it? Okay, so let me go further. 100 about. Oh, you mean, living. You want to live to 100 years old. Oh, really? Wow, I could have it as a goal. I could live to 120. It could be my goal. Do you think the Savior will be back by then, though? Like, how bad is it going to get when you start reading this climate warming thing? How long do we really have? They keep putting it ahead more time, less time, like, don't look up. Oh, bad music. I'm sorry. Grandfather's passengers. Wow, you said that quick. Oh, well, I have hundreds of videos at Mary Jane's, Yes, I think this will be great, Regina and Rose, to take a camper to here. And you could come with me to see Mary Jane, of course. Look, I'm so easily entertained. We are neurodiverse, me and my husband, low, but we love each other. Neurodiverse means we think differently. Our brains function differently too, Willem and me. You're going to do traveling videos, museums, and seeing different things on my road trip adventures. Oh, you do a lot of solo camping. Oh, wow, Regina, I could watch your videos. Grandfather's present. Okay, there, we're up to date. Okay, so I'll tell you about Jamaica. And I really should do a whole video about it. Okay, so Jamaica, down the way where the nights are gay and the sun shines daily on the mountain top. I took a trip upon a sailing ship, but when I reached Jamaica, I made a stop. But I'm sad to say I'm on my way. I won't be back for many a day. My heart is down. Oh, my head is turning. So you have a channel. How many videos do you already have on it? My heart is turning around. I had to leave it. I had to leave a little girl in Kingston Town. So I went down there and I lived in this grass hut with this Rostelman. I was 17 and I was pure and innocent. I mean, no, I really wasn't pure and innocent at all. But I had I was teachable. I was very teachable, very humble and open. And Bully was a Rostelman. And his face, he would look so wise. His eyes would just get this really old wiseness. Have you ever looked in a baby's eyes, like a newborn baby? I don't know what my eyes look like, but if you look in a baby's eyes when they are really newborn, they look so old. They look wise, like they've been around a long, long time. That's not when they were born, is it? They came from this whole different sphere where they had lived for a long time. The pre-existence. We'd been there for eternity already, and we were wise, and we were old. But we were in the prime of our life, and we knew so much. But we didn't know about good and evil. We hadn't experienced any of this yet. That's why we had to come here. This is like university. But we had been studying for years, all kinds of things. I mean, there were so many of us. Think what we'd learned just from being with each other and talking to Heavenly Father. Can you imagine the conversations that we had sitting on Heavenly Father's lap? What would we have asked him? What would he have told us? We would ask him what it's like to be a Heavenly Father. Well, we wouldn't know any different than him being Heavenly Father because he was always Heavenly Father. He was our Heavenly Father. He was awesome. What was our relationship like with him? He wasn't like standoffish. He would have been our closest friend. He was our dad, who was very busy. He was a busy person, wasn't he? He was with us, loving us, and teaching us everything he knew. Teaching about his parents and his grandparents, and all the generations of the gods. He would have told us what it was like to be on an earth, what it was like to go through all this. You know, can you imagine sitting on his lap? How did you get to be Heavenly Father? What are you doing, Dad? I wonder how we would, like all the prayers, he would be answering prayers. He would be doing this. He would have been very busy getting Jesus Christ all, being in close contact with him as he did the gospel thing on the earth and sending him to create the earth and all the things that went on in our heavenly family. He was our oldest brother. He was the firstborn. We were like the millionth born, the quadrillionth born. And yet we had a personal relationship with him. Time was different, eh? Like here we're limited by time. But there, 1,000 years. So we're gone from home for 2.5 hours. I'm ready to go back. I like it there. I want to be there. But I have things I have to do here. But 88, I think, is enough. I could stay until the end. But I don't know if I may have nothing to do with it. It's going to be up to him completely. What are you saying? I think we get more done now. I hang out with Nancy. Just loving the conversation. I'm listening while organizing and cleaning jewelry. Oh, I will share a video of my home here in our land. Wish I could remember this. Okie dokie. What's yours? Or two. We don't remember any of it. No, right. Are you talking about the pre-existence or? That's all. I hope that we're all on one conversation, but I don't know that we are. I think we might be more conversations. Yeah, I'm getting more done when I talk to you. I get a lot more done. Like, I would never be doing all this. I would be sitting there watching videos. Or actually, I would be going for walks. I might be getting something done. Actually, I might be out there building I want to make that into a grass hut. Right there by the house. I love Minecraft. You know, Minecraft, building different shapes of buildings and lots of windows, and you have incredible scenery. You play all over all the hills, and you can find the right spot and get a perfect view, and you can create this house and has the right colors, and it's just lovely. And then you can go there. You can go there and you can walk around and look out all the windows. It's like there's no cabin fever. I built exactly what I wanted, and now I go look at it. I have lots of things. I built the house I was raised in, and I can go visit the house. I just have to go on the laptop, and I just go into Minecraft, and I can go in the front door, and I can look at the bookcases, and I can walk through, and it's all in Minecraft blocks and Minecraft things, but it's the house. It's the right shape. The colors are right. There's pictures where pictures are supposed to go. There's windows where the windows go. And the view, if I've built the house on the right place in Minecraft, I could find like the hill and it slopes down to the river, right? Like that's where I grew up. And it's in a subdivision. So I could find the right shape of a hillside. This is a cool idea. I know, wasn't that awesome? I could find the right slope and I could build a Minecraft house of my parents, exactly the right one, and I could look out the windows and I could see, and I wouldn't have deer, but I could have goats. I could put the goats on the hill where the deer would be. And I could have sea turtles in the river where the ducks would be. It wouldn't be sea turtles. But anyway, I built all the houses. I built this house. I built all the other houses, and they're on Minecraft. And I can go there, and I can go for walks. When the weather's bad, I can walk around, and I can check on things, and I can harvest different things, and I can go mining down into a hole if I want. I can fly all around and see everything. It's a really cool world. It's not like it's another world. It's part of my world. It's part of it. I do. I have a replica of all the places I lived in, and they're to scale. I'm walking around in a room, and the room is, to me, the size of my room. It's not like you're using little things. You're in it. It's like virtual reality or something. It's very cool. It's very cool. And you can do things like you can build a room and then plant mushrooms and see if they grow. There's these brown mushrooms and red mushrooms. I think the red mushrooms might be poisonous. And there's the brown mushrooms. And you can they wouldn't be poisonous. And they're red with white dots on them. And there's brown ones. And sometimes they'll grow and they'll be as big as a room. And you could actually wall it all in around under it. And you could have this, get rid of the stalk if you want, because there is no gravity. Everything is in the block in which it's placed. If you want to place a block in the middle of the room, then you better build a stack of them so you can put one there, and then you just get rid of all the rest. Just click, 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 and the rest are gone. Look at this. Wow, does that look good, or is that me? Do I think that looks good, or is it really do? No, I guess it is kind of crooked. Oh well, to me it looks lovely. Just so. I'm going to put it on the outside of the pocket. Probably won't look right if I put it on the outside of the pocket. Now wait a minute, I don't want to get behind again. I know, I have a parrot, and you can make things like I have a okay, so now I'm at this point, so I'm gonna, this other one is a selvage. That's nice. So I'll put this to there, and then I'll start from here and I'll sew it up. This is my patch for the burned hole in my pocket, in my dress. My mother would be so proud of me. I'm so proud of me. You know how long things that need to be patched get left in that bag? And then the bag gets so full, all the things that you're supposed to mend, then finally you throw the mending bag, send it to the dump because you're never going to mend them. But not until you've made 2 mending bags. And then they've sat in the closet for so many years, and you take all the clothes out and you find out, these don't even fit. Oh, isn't that great? My goodness. I'm doing these nice, neat little stitches. I'm really doing a nice job. When I made that dress in Jamaica, I sat on the top of a mountain. It was the Blue Mountains, and we had walked up to the top of the mountain. Yeah, I don't really tell the stories about what we did. I usually tell the stories about what I saw or what we used. Hey, that's going crooked. Don't want a crooked pocket. Now I'm not putting it onto, I'm sewing it inside out, I'm sewing it together. And then I'm going to turn it in right side out. And then I'm going to attach it on the front of the dress. Wonder how your battery's doing. It's probably, whatever. You had a cockatiel once. Oh, you know, in Minecraft you can have that's what they are, right? The cockatiels, and they'll stay on your shoulders, and you get enough of them, you tame them, you click on them. I think you feed them birdseed, and you feed them, and then they get the hearts, and then you click on them and they'll sit. And so if you put a stick sticking out of somewhere, and then you spawn one, you get the egg, and you click the egg right there on that stick. The bird, now before he flies away, there's like 1/2 a second. So if you immediately click on him with birdseed, you've got your birdseed open, you click on him. Oh, really? Oh. Anyway, you click on him and he'll sit, and then you've got a bird on a stick, and he'll stay there. Otherwise, they fly all over, and they follow you around, they land on you, and they land where you're trying to dig, and they land where you're trying to put things, and they're right in the way, and you can put strings on them. You can have them flying up in the air. Farmer's lung disease you got. Oh, my goodness. Yes, that's true. Scarlett left 2 white birds here, and they would crow like roosters almost. And they would, what song from kindergarten? What was that? He's got the whole world in his, yes. Yeah. Okay, let's go back to that about Heavenly Father. Wouldn't that be neat? Oops, sorry. Wouldn't that be neat to remember? But the big tunnel between, when you die, you walk through this big tunnel. I think it's the veil. And that curtain, I don't think that, good luck. Just those deja vus. Those are the little holes when you peep through the hole from heaven. You came and you could see, you watched the movie of your life. You knew because of what you knew when you came, it was predictable what you would do, but there would be choices. You could, but we saw all the possible things in our lives. I guess just looking at the Minecraft thing, and oh yeah, wouldn't that be cool? 6,000 years ago, what was I like? Can you imagine how much you would know? Because you were also, your Jesus Christ was your brother. So you knew all the stuff that he went to teach. I mean, he'd been taught it. We were taught it, right? So we knew the stuff he knew. And none of us had ever sinned. We didn't have earth life yet. And so we were all pure and intelligence. And we didn't worry. We didn't have hang-ups. Like, we didn't worry about, oh, I don't look good. My hair's wrong. Like, everything about us was perfect. We had the perfect hair we wanted. There was we've always had choice. Nothing was, like even our gender. It was all choice. Everything. And all the things that we go through here, we knew it. We knew what we were going to go through, and we agreed. Because it wouldn't have been fair if we didn't. And we agreed to not remembering. Anyway, I'm getting chilly. I have to think about keeping my body moving. Okay, so that's there. I could use this other one to pin it in place. Do you remember that when you used to sew and pin it in place? You get deja vu a lot, eh? I had lots of pins when I was up there on that mountain. I had pinned this whole thing. It was a really pretty outfit. The front bodice was gathered, so it had these 4 lines that went down. It was muslin, I think it's called. That's why you have to look at everyone as beautiful. It was he that created us. Yeah, but we were with him before he brought us here, like before we were created here. Okay, so let me go back and see what you said. You went to Montego Bay and Negril. I never saw black beaches in Jamaica. They were white, the ones I saw. So Montego Bay, I would always fly into Montego Bay, and then I would take a taxi, and I would go to the market, and I would get on the bus, Ruby's Transport, and I would go up in the hills on Ruby's Transport. In the morning, it would leave in the morning, so my flight would usually get there in the evening or the afternoon. I always flew from Georgia. Well, no, I flew across from Miami. I would hitchhike that's what I did. I would always hitchhike down, or no, I would take a bus. That's right, I hitchhiked once with somebody that hitchhiked with me. But then the next time, I took a bus from Athens, and I went down. I had to come home every 6 weeks. You had to come back to the United States, because you only got a 6-week visa. Yeah, being an old soul, that's why we haven't changed, right? Like, if I think about myself and my life, I've always been just as the same way I am right now. I've always been me. And all my memories, they're all mine. And I can, Maya was trying to do something the other day, and I was thinking, oh, isn't that sweet? A little girl doing that. And then, but you know what? Like, when I was little, I remember when I was 5 years old, I decided, this is a 5-year-old, and I've got this memory when I'm 66. It was an intentional memory. I decided that because I could not remember what I did yesterday or the day before, could never remember what I did, that I would remember that today I rolled down the hill. And I would do that all the time. There are nude beaches now, eh? Oh my goodness, the world has changed so much. That's amazing. They maybe always had those things, but they would be very, very few, right? Okay, we haven't made a single stitch in a long time. It's because I needed a pin. So, so we went on this trip. He really wanted to go to the Blue Mountains, and so away we went to the Blue Mountains. And we hiked up the hill, and the mountain, and I couldn't believe how much it was like Georgia. It was the foliage, like there was honeysuckle, and all the kinds of vines and stuff that I didn't have kudzu though, but there were all these. There were also down below, like down low, there was all the coconut trees and the big banana plant trees and mangoes, all wild, all over the hills. The hills were covered with, you know, what's that kind of breadfruit? And there were papayas, and it was all wild. It just grew. It was everywhere. So beautiful, and it smelled so good. And in the afternoon, the wind would start, and the banana leaves would just flap in the wind. And then it would, like, it was almost like it was sucking the rain out of the sky. You'd hear this sort of sucking sound with the banana plants, and then it would rain, and you could feel the low pressure. And then it would rain hard for a few minutes, and then it would clear up, and the cloud would move away, or was just disappeared or something. And the clouds would float like right there. It's like you could lasso it. They were so close. Yeah, have I described it right? Is that what it sounds like? And then there would be donkeys on the hillside. And they were tied, they belonged to people, and they were tied to clumps of grass. Donkeys on the hillside, hear how they bray. Hawks fly like eagles, and monkeys all are we. Listen to me sing my song, you won't hear lies from me. All I can do is say what I see and sing. Way out on the planet, somewhere far away, hawks fly like eagles, and monkeys all are we. Listen to me sing my song, you won't hear lies from me. All I can do is say what I see and sing. That was my song. I wrote that. That was a real interesting time. Yes, the tropical rains are really nice, and those beautiful clouds that just hang there. I have such memories of my mom and my grandma. So were you there with them? I was raised by my mom and dad. No, my dad was mean. Maybe you're my sister from another family. I would not be here if it weren't for my grandmother. I was thinking the same, Gina. I love that. Oh, thank you. She was your best friend. I thought you were singing a Peter, Paul, and Mary song. Oh, that I wrote that. I used to sit on the hillside. That was the second verse. Was donkeys on the hillside, hear how they bray. And the rest of it wasn't about the birds. It was a different something. I wonder if it's written down anywhere. I can hear that music in the background. Can you hear it? I can barely hear it. Years were divorced. Oh, I see. Well, that's, oh yeah. Interesting. Maya said to me, she said, you're another mother. You're another mom to me. You're my other mother, or you're my other mom. Isn't that interesting? Ah, I'm glad you're here. I bet all the people you've affected in your life are glad. See, this is not as perfect, you know? Sometimes we do a really good job, and then there's other times when we just do regular. I usually just do regular most of the time, actually. Where's my... Oh, I have to put a knot. A cannot. Hey, if I leave it there... No, it's not long enough. At the first, I was going to make it single layer, but it's double. It's beautiful that... Who says that? Oh, yes. Yeah, it is wonderful. She said that for the first time, and then the next day, she phoned me at bedtime to say goodnight, and then the next day, she sent me a message saying that she hopes she'll get to come over for a few days next week or something. But I think they go to grandma's. I mean, they go to school. This is so hard to do. Ha! Look at that! I broke it right in the right place, too. Okay, this one goes back in here because I know what it's like to sit on needles. My poor daughter, Scarlett, had a needle in her foot once, and it broke off. She was a little girl. She was like 3, and she would whine. You know, little girls are kind of whiny. And so, I thought she was just complaining about her foot. I thought she had, gotten a thorn or something in that, and I must have gotten it out. I tried. Yeah, I thought it was a splinter, and it turned out I took her to the doctor because she complained about it for a long time. I don't know, maybe it was a week. And he looked in there. It did an x-ray, and there was a needle, half of a needle, like a centimeter long, right? Like half an inch? Or maybe it wasn't that big, but in my mind it was huge. He swallowed the needle and thread. And what did you do? Did it just